Good morning. My name is Raimund Broechler. I'm working for Intrasoft International in Luxembourg, but I will introduce the company later a bit, that you understand a bit what we are doing. Personally, I had a long experience in research. So I was a researcher for about 13 years, quite active in the area of chemistry, inorganic chemistry, fluorine chemistry, and especially I've been involved in some of these former Star Wars projects where we were able to have very close collaboration with industry and very good funding, which can be interesting afterwards, how you structure your exploitation paths. Since 1999, I'm working very actively in EU projects. I manage large network projects. I don't know if you know these projects like the IRC network, which is already a past project, which was related to technology transfer, research exploitation, and I'm actively working now in some big research projects with 15-16 million euros each, where we work for IT solutions for manufacturing and production. So I have also quite some experience there. I'm very active in collaboration between research and small medium enterprises. I'm vice president of the International Network for SMEs, which is also based in Rome. And I'm also board member of TII, which is Technology Information International, which is also trying to take care to share experience between the different countries worldwide that are doing technology transfer or facilitating technology transfer or inventing new policies for decision makers in order to keep our knowledge updated in this area. So I hope I can help you with my presentations in the afternoon to get a better understanding of how to structure technology transfer and to get a better overview. Let's do it as active as possible. Whenever you have a question, just tell me. If I'm too fast or too slow with my English, because it's also not my native language, then also tell me. I think it's the same with you. And I'm looking forward to work with you. I hope that I have something interesting for you to talk about research exploitation, what it means in the context of EU projects, what it means generally, but also with understanding of why, for example, a private company. I'm representing a private company here. Yeah, private company with about 1,500 employees is very interested in research projects. Why we are interested in collaborating with universities, with research centers, yeah, and how we manage it internally. Because then you may better understand how you can attract the company to work with them. Yeah? So I try to focus on that and to explain it. And please, I think no one has to be shy. Yeah? If you don't dare to talk in English, ask someone of your colleagues, talk in your language, Bulgarian, and this person can. Martin is taking over, so ask your question maybe in Bulgarian, no problem, and he can translate. Yeah? I would like to have as many questions as possible. You can interrupt me, it's no problem, really. Because, you know, what is the added value of the video that is now produced and you being here is that you have me live, you can ask, you can interact, and use the possibility. There's nothing more boring than just someone staying there and blah, blah, blah. You know, it would be good, yeah? But don't feel to be too forced, yeah? It should be something coming from yourself. This is not the place to present my own company. But what I want to do is, as I said, I want to do it under the imagination what Intrasoft is doing with research projects. Why is research for us interesting, and why is this collaboration interesting? So please take it like that, yeah, how I present it. First of all, if you see this image here, yeah, you see all these different nice cycles, yeah. They're showing we are working Intrasoft, yeah, sounds like a software company. We are an IT company, but also a lot of consultancy services and IT services. And so not only a software developer, it goes beyond that. What you see, all these different cycles there, what is important if you work for big organizations like European Commission as a client, or World Bank, or European Central Bank, yeah, is quality and quality label. So we see all these different certifications. I think we have all of them. Everything that is possible, we have it. It's sometimes a pain in the, you know what I mean, yeah? It's painful exercise, but it's only a paper in a way, but if you live quality, it works. Yeah? And this is what we try to communicate, quality. Being state of the art regarding knowledge, state of the art how a company needs to do project management, that people trust us to give us a project for 15 million euros. Yeah? You need to understand how project management works. Yeah? And these certifications, yeah, from TÜV and ISO, whatever, yeah, they just help us to underline it. You know, when we are going and when we are answering to an offer, yeah, call for tender, call for proposal, people will not have a nice demonstration from our CEO, yeah. So the paper must work and the references must work. So whenever you apply to something, think about your references. What did I do? Where can I show my excellence? So this is why we are using always this. Yeah? And we got also this Ruben d'Honneur 2010 and also 2011 for the European Business Award. Yeah? And these kind of things that are important for, not only for a private company, but also I think for research. Yeah? Researchers, universities, always trying to rank your expertise. Topic, as I said already, is exploitation of research results. I introduced myself. I'm working in the area research and innovation, so in the research and innovation unit. And my working position within the company is a senior delivery manager. What does it mean? Senior means when you have a specific portfolio, budget-wise, per year. So you need to be about X million of euros per year. Then you get a senior delivery manager plus 5 to 7 years of experience. And delivery, what means delivery? It's not the postman that is delivering the mail. It's not pre-sales, writing a proposal, but it's delivering the project. So I'm the front end, what the client sees when we deliver a project. And when we are coordinator, I'm the one who is coordinating the project. I need to activate the people that they do their work. I need to collect all the financial things and so on. I need to motivate them. I have to instruct them when I think it's not good and so on. These kind of things. And so this is my working position within the company. I'm together with Intrasoft since 2004, quite a long time. And what I would like to cover today is Intrasoft International at a glance, just short. Then we talk about exploitation strategy, what it is. And I will connect it very closely to what we heard from Matteo, yeah? Because in the understanding of the Commission is always a dissemination and exploitation. Yeah? You do dissemination because you want to do exploitation. You don't do dissemination for the sake of dissemination. Very important. Yeah? Dissemination is result-oriented activity. It needs to bring something, impact. Then the steps, what you have to do to present an exploitation plan. Approaches, there are different approaches for the exploitation of research results. Open innovation service segmentation, this is something we need to talk about. Can I just see your hands who does know what open innovation means, or has been in contact with this, or has a rough understanding what it is? Let's start with a rough understanding. Did you hear about open innovation? As a word? As a word. So you have very, very small understanding of it? Yeah? Yeah. When we talk about exploitation of research, we need to understand open innovation. Otherwise, you don't understand why is this happening. Why is exploitation so important? It's all covered by the open innovation. And there was a very nice guy, Mr. Chesbrough. I know him in US. Open innovation was done in Europe for many, many years. Yeah, there's literature available about open innovation, but no one labeled it like that. It was happening, people were doing it, and then there was a clever guy, Mr. Chesbrough. He wrote a book about it. He sold it first at the airports, yeah, where all the managers, when they travel, buy the manager books. In America, it's normal that you have every 6 months a new pick that is that is running through the streets, like we say in a phrase. So they have a new management philosophy. They want to be more clever. They want to implement it. They want to understand something new. And he started with that, and now he has, if you Google this guy, yeah, he has an own department, he has his own blogs. He influenced business of companies like Nine Sigma, yeah, who is really making money out of technology transfer. These guys know how it works. And I have some other examples later, like Innocentive and so on, where I can talk about it. So technology transfer can make money. But the system is changing, and it's changing very fast. And if you're at a university, you run, for example, a technology transfer office, yeah, you should implement open innovation philosophy into your way of working. It helps you a lot, because you much better understand how you can communicate to companies in order to do it, and it makes them, I need that. Yes, you're right. Yeah, we need this project because we help you. Something about, if we have time, we can talk a bit about the practice. That would be nice to give you some examples, like we did it. I'm, for example, running the Enterprise Europe network in the United States. This is a project that I'm coordinating. Even being in Luxembourg, I'm coordinating this project. And then I have some examples how open innovation is working. Afterwards, after my first presentation, we have another presentation that is giving you an overview of the H2020, the Horizon 2020. Have you heard about it? Yeah, so you know FP7 is almost gone. No? There's not a lot anymore in, and some topics are quite fully covered. There are some other activities that are still open where you can do something. But at the end of the year, it will be done, and then Horizon 2020 comes. And there's a very important other project that you should know is the COSME, yeah? Which is more a specific support to the SMEs with specific instruments. And I will talk about it because I will mention this network a lot of times in my presentation. This is the Enterprise Europe network. And we have one participant here being in it, yeah? But you should use it. If you're a university, if you're a research center, you should use the network or be part of it. Yeah? But don't just leave it and don't use it, because they need you that you use them in order to be successful. But I will explain it. Intrasoft. What are we doing? We are not an old company. We are just existing since 1996. And we started with a project that we won, which is Cordis. You know Cordis? Yeah. Everyone knows Cordis, but almost no one knows Intrasoft. But this is our product. Cordis is one of our products. But we do it on behalf of the European Commission. Yeah. If you are fair, and you can be fair, there's a lot that I don't like within Cordis. Sometimes it's very boring thing. Yeah. But we are running it on behalf of the European Commission. You know, whenever we want to change something, we need almost an agreement from the Parliament to do it. Yeah. So it's complicated. It's a massive infrastructure, yeah, for researchers. But our company is also running other projects like Europa.eu. Yeah, this is also Intrasoft. We are running these big projects, but the Commission is giving us always reacting on a call for tender. So we always have to apply, we always have to make an offer, and then we have to be chosen. It's a tough, hard market. So as you see, we are a key player in EU institutions and agencies for more than 50 years. And why is research here so important? You know, when we want to run big database infrastructure like CODIS or Europa.eu, we need to know how the peak of research is in IT regarding massive cloud environments, for example, or massive database environments. We need to be aware that whenever a call is coming out, that at the same time 60 million people are looking to a specific paper. Yeah? If there's something interesting in Europe on the Europa.eu page, we need to have a massive infrastructure that is dealing with it. It's the same like Amazon or something like that. So whenever you want to get such a contract, you cannot be so small or so unexperienced. And if we would not run these research projects and would have all these connections to the different universities that help us to develop something, yeah, we would be lost. We need this. Yeah? And this is something where you can work with. You can show your expertise and can tell a company that wants to do something, but they are not on the peak to make the offer, yeah, that you help them to make this last mile. So we are doing this business since more than 15 years, and we do IT solution integration. And it's always an IT solution that is sold with a lot of services. For example, a network management or a CODIS web page. CODIS web page does not mean only, or Europa.eu, does not mean only that we have a server infrastructure. You know what it means, Europa to run Europa, means that you have to go to the parliamentarians, you have to go to the press offices of the European Commission, you have to take all the content, you have to translate it. We have a massive armada of translators in our company that help us to translate in all the European languages. Yeah? We need to have proper editors that are doing all this work and transferring it into web pages. We need to interact with the people, so we need to know all the social media means and so on. And therefore, we did not have in the beginning all the expertise. Yeah? We were just hiring last year 2 well-known worldwide social media experts within the company in order to be prepared for the next offers when next Europa comes and so on. And we need to know and to work with the companies that develop the new instruments to work properly with the social media. So research for a company is a must. Yeah? When we want to have people getting X hundred euros per day, yeah, if we make an offer, yeah, and that is not refused to be too expensive, yeah, we need to be the ones that know the technology, and there should not be so many other ones that know the technology, and that's how it works. We started really small with 3 people. Our former chief sales officer is now the CEO. It's Sakis Kotsis, and a Greek nationality. And he really helped that this company is now from 3 to 1,500, more than 1,500. We are growing dramatically. When the IT bubble exploded, 2001 and so on, 2002, 2003 and so on, we still had 10% plus increase of sales. Why? Because we are not going for the mass market. This doesn't work. We are going for very specific IT solution. And specific IT solutions, again, you need to be the one that knows the technology. And now we have 1,500 people and 20 different nationalities. This is something you can keep. Just footprint. Where we are, we have offices in Athens, Bucharest, Brussels, Luxembourg, Sofia, which is new. This came because of a merger. We even have an office here. That came from Intracom. You may know Intracom. It is a telecommunication company in Greece that is within our holding. And there we bought in a lot of projects. So that's the reason why we have now an office also in Sofia. This is a brand new presentation. Copenhagen, Nicosia, Amman, Riyadh and Manila. And then we have activities in all these other countries. And on the left side, you see the clients, the big clients, demanding clients. I can tell you these clients are really demanding. And this European Commission, the European Parliament, the European agencies, several agencies, European Investment Bank, EMSA, European Patent Office, OHIM, and so on and so on. Now let's start with EU-funded projects and exploitation. Normally, if I would be you, I would ask, what is Intrasoft doing? Are you so successful in exploiting research? We are not super successful, but we are successful, I can say. We have some really nice successes. One nice success is a European project that we were running on customs. We tried to develop a software system that is putting together different IT systems. So what we did was not only to develop something new, but we took what is existing and combined it. When you want to sell custom solutions, sometimes the trick is not to come with a new system, because governments that run this, they don't have the money to jump into a new system. But if you are the one that can say, yes, I have a solution, how you combine all your existing IT systems and we put something on top and make you much more competitive, then you make it. So this was a European research project. We took it, and afterwards we created a spin-off within the company. And now we have customs in more than 50 countries with our IT solution. And what is a big runner now is also something that started very small. It's taxation systems. The crisis has highlighted some weaknesses in Europe regarding taxation. And okay, it depends a lot on the people that are running it, but also on the IT infrastructure that you need. In Germany, we are one of the examples of the best monitored tax systems. All the different tax systems, they are connected and interconnected, and it's not as easy anymore to manipulate them or to escape. This is good or less for the citizens, but I think it's a win. For every individual, it's a win if it's fair as possible. So this is one of the success. I said taxation, two at least, and then all the different new contacts we made. If you see, for example, Matteo, if you see Martin, we are working together in projects. We are partners. Sometimes we compete, like with APRE, Matteo from APRE. Sometimes we are there in a competing proposal. Sometimes we go together. You cannot always run the same consortia. It doesn't work. You have to change. But we are friends. We are working together. We try, whenever we run a project, we think about when the project is running, what can we do next? When the project just is in the first year, think about the next step and the next project you want to do with them. Sometimes you discover, my God, it was so nice to work with Martin. He's so straightforward. Everything is working. So let's think about the next one. Or think about the exploitation that you think together. Where is the market for my system? In Envimpact, what was just one line in there, but we tried to do something new in exploitation, is doing a mapping. Whenever you search for a technology, what you normally get is a list. You look for environmental technology, safer energy use in a specific agriculture area, then you get a list of things. What we do is we do a geo mapping, because our brain works with geo information. When you have a CEO who wants to do business with France because he enjoys France way of life and wants to have a nice travel there, but also want to combine it with a business perspective, our brain works like that. You connect the business with your individual behavior. So let's get the information on technology on a geo information base. So they get a map and they see how many technologies are available in Spain or in France or in Germany and so on. What is the added value? When you, for example, you pick 3, 4 technologies, you can organize very well a business trip with this information easily, yeah? Because you will never just check one technology, you check more than one. Let's go back to this complicated but nice topic where I'm involved since 1999, is how to get research to the market. And the European research projects, they are doing well in research. We know that. Yeah? The research results are good results. Yeah? They are value for money, really, compared to a lot of national research projects. These projects have good value for money relationship. But it also helps to develop new technologies, so to go a bit closer to the market. But if we see all the projects that are funded, we realize that only a few of them are properly exploited. That is a problem. And the Commission has now a problem because they can calculate how many millions, billions they spend on research, and they want to understand what is coming out of it. Yeah? The member states of Europe and the European Commission, they have an agreement. You know, they do not want to double fund the activities. You know, when a country is doing basic research, but the European Commission is trying to do international collaboration between partners in order to harmonize Europe, to bring the people together, so typical research approach, but afterwards take this and do the next step and bring it to the market, create new business, new employment, and so on. So what we found out with this SWOT analysis, yeah, that was done was they frequently do not fully use their potential capacity to exploit. This is a fact, and whenever you run a project these days, the Commission focuses a lot on the exploitation. When you do well with your project, nothing is happening there, everything is good on the research side, they hit you on the exploitation and dissemination in a review meeting. I just had one, yeah, research, everything works well, consortium works well, budget is fine, and so on. But they ask us some really challenging questions regarding the exploitation. You have to think during the project development, you have to think about the market, and you have to show it. Yeah? And it's much better to think already within the proposal about it. Yeah? Think about living labs.
Isn't it the exploitation part, isn't it already in the proposal in most cases? In order to get a good evaluation of your proposal, shouldn't you include exploitation?
Yes, you should definitely talk about it, but talking about it and doing it is again another story. And also the Commission is more and more learning it, and the project officers to be a bit more straightforward. What does it really mean? Is it really that you make people aware of your possibilities? This is not the exploitation, because this is the dissemination. The exploitation goes beyond. It means to implement within a test infrastructure, it could be a client, that this is useful. So it's more the piloting of something. Yeah? And we run, for example, this big project that I was mentioning before. There we have, within the project design, we have 5 living labs. We are developing this again, an IT solution that sits on top of existing infrastructures, because in manufacturing system, production systems, there's a big problem with standardization. Yeah? And you have to combine these different standards with a new way of doing it without creating a new IT software solution. There are software solutions existing from big players like SAP, yeah? And there's another French company that is producing a nice system on complete package for virtual manufacturing. But if you are a decision maker within Mercedes, BMW, or Fiat, whatever, yeah, you are very afraid to jump on such a single system because you are depending, yeah, You know, one day the system is down, it means millions, yeah. And this is one thing, but normally these big software houses, they take care that the software is very stable and robust. But when they come with an update, you have to buy the update continuously. You see how it works these days with printers. Yeah? You get a printer for 10 euros, but you pay afterwards hundreds of euros because the cartridges have to be replaced, yeah? And you pay the money afterwards with the service. And software houses doing exactly the same. You sell a software product, but what you sell afterwards is a service, continuously updating and so on. Yeah? You have to have releases, this kind of stuff. So come back to the topic. I will always try to make, I always try to get your attention with using some examples, because these transparencies are always boring. Yeah? But my brain is only working if someone is telling me a story. So maybe your brain is the same. So I sometimes escape on stories. What is written here, you will know it. Yeah? Researchers love their research, and they think it's the best thing you can do on the world. But what they miss, Matteo mentioned it, sometimes they miss to communicate, and they fail to make it attractive for other people. So how can I sell my research to someone who is not in this field? How can I attract someone that manufacturing and production software is something that would interest him or her? And this is the way you have to think about the exploitation. And when you run a project, you always have to think, is there a possible client or is someone who could use it? And researchers are normally, I was 3 years in Ukraine, yeah, and I was supporting a lot of universities from the National Academy of Science. Yeah? And when I was talking about technology transfer, they were sometimes looking to me like an alien. Yeah? The culture and the history was just totally different. Yeah? A researcher was a researcher for basic fundamental research. They did not want to talk about exploitation. Even my doctor father at the university, when I was thinking about what will the industry do with this, yeah, he was saying, "Are you crazy?" Yeah, he was only interested in one thing, and he was not bad in that. He was attracting industry money. Yeah, we did a lot of, we produced fine chemicals, and we were also running this Star Wars project that was bringing us huge amount of money into the university, because we tried to create salts that could pump the HF lasers in the atmosphere in order to defend nuclear attacks in the air. But when the Cold War came, Cold War was over, then there was a problem. There was no budget anymore. Yeah, and it was a big challenge for the military industry. Yeah. I have the same feeling, you know, technology transfer offices are sometimes aliens within the university. Yeah, they have a very tough job. They have to do a job that is from the researchers not really understood. So you have to do a lot of communication to tell them why this is so important and so needed. Yeah. I have a picture in there that this creates business for the university. Universities these days, they cannot count anymore. You see it in all the Western world. If you go, as more you go to US, yeah, you see how less research is funded. But it does not mean that the excellence of research is going down. You see it in US, yeah, but it's funded by other people. Open innovation is not rocket science. Open innovation is transferring the cost to someone else. This is a sentence, yeah? Write it down. I have a lot of enemies with this sentence, but I will explain you why it is like that. Open innovation is transferring the cost to someone else. When you do research and you use open innovation to get rid of your research results, what are you doing? You are paid for your research by the state in a university, okay? Or by the industry. If you do it for the industry is your buyer. So they get the IPR, the intellectual property rights on what you did. If you do something which is basic research, it is paid already once. Why not making money twice? Because you are exploiting it for industry. The industry would normally do it themselves. They would do the research. But if you have done the research, why to do it again? So what an industry is doing if they do technology transfer, they reduce the costs. And open innovation is only about reducing costs. Globalization and reducing costs. The first well-known example of open innovation that really is powerful example is US military and UK military. I mentioned it already. When the Cold War was over, the enemies were gone. As a private person, I'm very happy, yeah? Because the risk goes down, you feel more comfortable, and things are hopefully getting easier and not anymore so risky. But if you work for military industry, this is not a nice problem because you lose your job. And US military, Russian military, other country militaries, they had quite a big budget in Cold War times, huge budgets. And Cold War was over, and then everyone was requesting, why do you need so much budget? Because, you know, this risk does not exist anymore. This risk does not exist anymore. We have to make savings. Social costs, health costs are increasing. We need to have a budget for this. So budget was transferred from military to other areas. And what did the military do? Because with cut budgets, they had a problem. How can we stay on the peak of technology? And what they did was very easy. They made calls for opportunities. So they said, we have this problem. We need to see enemies in 200-meter distance during the night. This is a challenge. Answer. And amazingly, the research institutes, the companies, the small and medium enterprises, they answered. They made offers. And the development costs went away from the army to the companies. Sometimes the companies then backcharge the governments because they have to buy the products. But the companies can also offer things, if they have not exclusive contracts, to the global system. Yeah? This is also happening in military. So this is open innovation. This is just a starter. There comes more. What research projects generally fail is they are not using these instruments. Research project is, there was a lot in Matteo's presentation, was about we run a nice project. Yes, the universities also do that. We are doing nice research. But why are we doing that? And for what are we doing it? Are there potential buyers that we don't know yet? Yeah? And the commission with these projects, they are on the offer side. They continuously offer something. And the research offer is something very abstract. Because you don't sell, as a researcher, you don't sell a bottle of water. What you sell is the possibility that you can have water in a way covered by something that you can use it wherever you are, you can take it, go with it, you can drink it wherever you like. You know, in good old times, it was not as easy as that. It was something different. Yeah, this is stable, you can just throw it, whatever. Yeah, and research is not giving you the possibility to buy it. Research is just saying there's a possibility to do it, and it will be stable until minus 40 degrees. It will be stable up to plus 50 degrees, but customer is not interested in that. Really, they are interested in the product. So what research needs to do is research needs to go on the demand side. Yeah? You have to understand what your customer needs. This is a key. It's not easy. Absolutely not easy to do that. But there are these days with social media and everything. Yeah? Everything is now done with the internet and so on. If you see how many needs you get expressed by the people, by industry, in the internet and you find all this information. Yeah, you should use it. It's much better to go to someone and say, I think that you have this need and I believe I have a solution for this. Can we talk? It's different. Think about the other thing. I would send an email with a technology description to this client. He would not understand at all. What does he want from me? Spam. Gone. It goes. I'm really a friend of demand-driven technology transfer and not what normally a European project is doing. But now we have a problem because exploitation means that you have to do it in a project perspective. Means you have to talk about it. Your dissemination activities are saying, it's a website, you describe what you do, you describe the potential market, you get in touch with the market. So when we saw events, what I would do is, if I run a research project, I would go to trade fairs. Yeah, I would not only serve the research community. A normal research project, what do? They go to conferences and show their results. This is not the market. I'm sorry. This is a small part of it. The market is the industry. Go to so we are as an IT company, I told you, at the CeBIT, yeah? We are going with our IT projects, we go to the CeBIT and to the Hannover Messe. And we are talking with industry, potential users about the solution. This is really different. It's really different approach. So when you talk about events, I'm very much in favor that you put something in your proposals, that you talk with the users. To talk to the research community extends the research awareness. This is good and this is important, but not target of the research project exploitation. Okay? So within the dissemination plan, if you talk about events, this is one story. But you have to say which events and what exactly do you do there. Our projects so far fail to do that. And I can also name a lot of projects that we run where we do not achieve what we want to achieve. Sometimes it is like that. Yeah? Research exploitation and technology transfer is not as simple. So not every research project that is of the peak of the research is not on the peak of the market. Think about the Apple case. Yeah? Why? First time Apple failed. Too early. Yeah? Sometimes you can be too early for the market. So you always have to think, okay, maybe it's not the right time. But it would be a disaster if you forget about what you did about your research. So have this portfolio and always think about what can I do with it. There are very, very interesting studies, I think you can just Google them, about the cost of IPR. You know, in good old times, everyone was thinking that research and IPR is gold. I keep it. You know, I create a big reserve of gold because I know all that. But sometimes the market is gone. Then forget about your gold. It's not gold anymore, it's stones. Yeah, it's gone. No market. And there was a very, very good speaker from Samsung who was talking about, first time that I heard that, he was talking about IPR as a cost. You know, we were talking about tangible assets, yeah? Knowledge is power, knowledge is money. That's correct, but it's also a cost. And for example, a university could say that unexploited research is a cost. For example, when you have a patent, it creates costs continuously. If someone make a fraud to your patent, yeah, you have a problem. You have to defend it. You have to fight for your rights. It means a cost, and you need to win, and win again Microsoft or someone like that. Yeah, it can be a massive cost and a massive time consumption. So all that means that without a proper exploitation, commercialization and valorization strategy, good research may remain research work. Yeah, and it will never reach its full potential and never creating impact to our society. And in Horizon 2020, I can tell you, yeah, the focus will even go more beyond the market. Yeah, it will ask you more and more and more to go from basic research to really exploitation. And there are ways to solve this problem. Yeah, just by arranging your consortium. Yeah, you can have 5 research partners, but you should have 5 industrial partners also in there. Yeah, and then you are going automatically closer to the market. A company that is investing 50% of the money into research because only 50% is covered, if it is a large company like us, then we are thinking twice before we go into such an exercise. Yeah, so we have an interest in using it.
Wouldn't the price of demonstration and the research stop the industry partners from participating in consortiums? I mean, the universities and SMEs get 75% of research. However, creating a pilot, demonstration, and so on, heightens the cost, but the refund is only 50%. And this is kind of a barrier.
You know, a demonstration means that you are much closer to the market. And when I go as a private company, if I go into the research, yeah, I pay 50% of the costs. Why should I? You know, when I can make a demonstration, I'm closer to the market. I win time. That's you know, I'm very much in favor to go to a demonstration project because I'm closer to the market. I need to sell it afterwards. Otherwise, I don't get my money back.
Yeah, but attracting industry partners to help with the pilot, wouldn't the probability that the product won't make it to the market, won't be successful, and still they have to invest?
No, normally it's the other way around. It's really the other. It should be the other way around. Yeah? And that's why the Commission. I think the Commission learned a lot. Yeah, because more and more companies were going into research because of the sake of research. They even found a way to do it within companies that are for profit. Yeah, industrial partners. That they have very complicated refinancing mechanisms within the company that they could cover the cost of the research because they say the collaboration with the other partners are so important. Yeah, this can be, for example, the reason why a company is going into a research project, because they think this collaboration with this and this and this partner to increase our knowledge in this area is very important. But the pure product is not really the aim what we want. It's possible, yes, but I can just say that when you write a proposal, you have to make the sales pitch already with the industry partner. You know, exploitation is done when you write the proposal. There you clarify exactly what the industry is doing afterwards with it, and they must be forced to do it. Yeah, sometimes within a company the strategy can change. Yeah, that is bad luck, and these days it happens quite often. Yeah, but in the I make always a reference to this project because it fits well. In the Imagine project, this manufacturing IT system for manufacturing project, we have living labs as partners. So we have 5 different industrial sectors. There's one is car manufacturing, the other is aeronautics, so building an A380. We have furniture industry. We have engineering sector. This is from UK. Is taking care for small supplier networks that manufacture something. And we have industry agnostic, going over all the sectors, which is from Fraunhofer. So these 5 living labs are a core part of our project, and they implement and are first users within the project. This is absolutely essential and help us to have customer tests, client tests, and so on. Yeah. So the living lab approach helps us to get a first understanding if the system works. The time pressure is tough within such a project, yeah, because you need to develop and implement and evaluate and refine and come back. That is tough exercise. But it helps us a lot in the exploitation. Yeah? And these companies, I can tell you, EADS is one of the partners. You know, they are huge, they are massive, they are all over Europe, yeah, and they have a really dramatic problem in the costs of the IT systems. Yeah? And all the IT systems that exist, they don't cover properly the design phase. You may know that before a plane is built, it's crashed already 50,000 times just on IT systems. Yeah, so the whole first production is done digital. It's a digital design. It's a digital production. It's digital crash tests. It's digital user environment. So people are going in rooms like this here, yeah, big rooms where they have 3D things on. Yeah, the pilots are flying with a plane, but just with simulation, and all the behavior from the IT system is simulated, and they cannot afford anymore. Yeah, with a strong competition to buy to build a plane, make prototypes, crash them, and so on. Yeah, so they are really interested in this project, and I would really recommend only run a project when you already have an interest. Yeah, for the university is different. You know, you run your research because you sell your expertise to an industrial consortium. Yeah, but you should have also, with your 25%, you should have an interest in exploitation, at least to use the methodology that you can go afterwards and sell your expertise. Yeah, to go to conferences, to be invited speaker on conferences, to show your excellence in a topic that industry is using you for another project. This is also exploitation. Yeah, and sometimes social projects, they have also a methodology that they develop, and you can exploit it. Think about project management courses. Yeah, there are thousands, but there are only a few that are European-wide certified. Prince 2, for example, is one of those. It's a project management principle. It's not rocket science, but it's a methodology that was certified, that has a very specific approach, high level of functionality within it, everything described, and it's a product, even if it's just an approach. Yeah? So I'm very much in favor that when you build your consortium, that the industry partners are really convinced to be in there. Yeah. Otherwise, very tricky in exploitation, and it is more and more demanding these days. So exploitation of result may help to support the economic development. This is the policy aim is we want to have more employment. You know, we all want that our kids get a new job. Yeah, that we are not replaced by other low-cost countries. Yeah, how can we do that? We can only do that when we are on the peak of research, when we are in the peak of education, yeah, and in order to compete. And last point here, very important, I mentioned it already, exploitation of research should refinance future research activities. Yeah. When you see Fraunhofer is still making the biggest amount of money out of the MP3. This is still refunding their research activities. It's the only known big blockbuster technology that Fraunhofer developed. It's the MP3 format, the music format. Huh? And this is still a very well paying. But now you know that the ACC format and AAAC and from Apple and so on, there are other ones, MP4 and. But the MP3 format, the license for MP3 was financing a lot of the future research and ongoing research of Fraunhofer because of license income. But this is a pearl, you know, this was something where no one was thinking that this will be such a blockbuster, yeah? But sometimes it's like that. So the exploitation of research results help to drive the emergence of a new way of funding research. And this is something what should be in the head. You know, you're doing it because you want to increase research excellence, yes. But if you are successful, and maybe you exploit 1 out of 10, this one can refund your other research activity, that you can keep your people and not only hire and fire with 2-year contracts or 1-year contracts and so on. So there's a cycle between the research, increased knowledge, innovation, trying to move it to the market together with the industry. I think you will never ever do it alone. You can only do it together with the industry partners, and this creates new funding. There are new relationships. We have universities, we work together since 15 years. Yeah? So stable collaborations with them. Whenever we have really a tough thing, the universities help us because they are so pragmatic. I'm so happy that we have all these collaborations with the universities. Otherwise, we could not deal with it ourselves. It's not possible. It only works with so many contracts we run with universities in order to get things done. You know? And we hire these people. You know, we learn about these guys. Yeah, they're so nice, so successful in projects. So we try to get them. No. It's we are not jeopardizing the collaboration, but you know, normally the product life cycle of a student should be student, master, thesis, work, yeah, and hopefully well-paid work. What I really see as a challenge in Europe is that we have, look, Spain, Greece, the youth unemployment is unbelievable. You have so well-educated people and they don't find a job. This is a disaster. And what are they doing? What is the market doing with these guys? They are further exploiting them. I had last week, I had a student that was asking for an internship within our company. And she told me that she was working already 2 years without payment, but working 10 hours a day without payment. This is not good. And we are not doing it as a company, and we do not want to do it. But this is the bad side of the crisis. Yeah? And my experience is always, this was my personal experience, but this is also the experience that we made as a company. It's important to avoid, for example, restricted contracts. When we employ people, we employ them for lifetime. If there is an economic crisis where we cannot deal anymore with the employees, there are legal possibilities to reduce stuff. But so far, we never reduced stuff. We're continuously growing since 1996. We are now 1,500 people. And 2 years ago, we just bought a big IT development part from our holding mother, from Intrasoft. And I would say that this should be the future. And I think you can just agree with me, yeah, that the situation at the moment with well-educated students is not good in Europe. It's really not good. Yeah. But Europe, I think, should count on mobility of researchers. And at that time, you're a bit more mobile than people when they have their first kids and so on. Yeah. So this is a time where Europe should use it as a chance. Yeah. I was working in another project, Erasmus and Leonardo. Yeah. And there we said, you know, it's a hard challenge in these countries, but it's also an opportunity because Germany has a lack of high qualified people, so they can hire these people. And we have already a big movement from Spanish and Greek students coming to Germany. And for companies, of course, they drop the price. This is also a fact. Yeah, they get them cheaper than normally, but they can, because they are cheap, they can afford to employ them. But I'm moving from the topic. As I said, the EC is putting efforts and means to get knowledge and create impact. Yeah? Knowledge increase is only one side of the coin. When the Commission is doing research, they always want to see impact. And not only these so-called impact points that you get with your publication. Yeah? It's the impact it creates to the economy. And only exploited research creates the impact. exploitation is recognized as a key enabler for the success of a project. And all EU-funded projects should describe the exploitation intentions through an exploitation plan. This is part of the contract now. It was not always this, that projects had to do it in FP3, I think. In FP4, they started the first time with a technology exploitation plan, the TIP. And then it was further continued. So you see that there is a change within the Commission policy to go from the pure research to research for the community in order to increase employment and get out of the crisis.